There's a strange loneliness in realizing you've spent years curating how people perceive you, and in the process, you've drifted further from how you perceive yourself. It's a question I've been circling around for years, but now I think I'm finally brave enough to ask out loud. Because when you've grown up online, when you've built a life, a career, an identity on being seen, it's not easy to separate where you end and the internet begins. I've been on social media, like a lot of you, since MySpace. That little top 8 friends box, your favorite profile song. Mine was, ooh, got somebody, she's a beauty. It was the beginning of an era where we started curating ourselves for the first time. Back then, it was fun, it felt harmless, but it was also the start of something bigger, this idea that we should always be on. From there came YouTube. I shared family vlogs, makeup tutorials, pieces of my life, sometimes maybe too much. Looking back, there are moments I probably overshared, but at the time it felt normal. The more I gave, the more people connected. The internet became this diary, this confessional, this stage. And people watched, people judged, people celebrated, and people criticized. I've been vulnerable online. I've shared struggles, insecurities, my kids, my relationships, my growth. And for every person who said, thank you, I relate to this, there was someone else tearing me down. I've been bullied for how I look, for how I parent, for the choices I made. And even when you tell yourself not to care, those words have a way of echoing in your head long after the comments are deleted. Social media gave me a connection, but it also gave me wounds. And sometimes I don't know which ones run deeper.
I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to do the right thing.
I make a living off social media. That's not something I take lightly. I'm grateful, truly. But I hate the word influencer because aren't we all influencing each other every day? A mom influencing her kids, a teacher influencing a classroom, a stranger influencing you with a small act of kindness. The title influencer has been twisted into something shallow, like we are all just selling lifestyles, pushing products, chasing clout. But for me, it's always been more than that. I never wanted to just influence people to buy things. I wanted to inspire, to connect, to remind someone out there they weren't alone. And yet, when your job depends on engagement, on clicks and conversions, it's hard not to lose sight of yourself in the process.
If you never try, you'll never know, never know. Yeah, if you never try, you'll never know, never know. Yeah, if you never try.
So who am I, really, without it? Without the vlogs, the likes, the brand deals, the comments, the criticism, the praise. I am someone who has lived both the beautiful and the brutal sides of the internet. I am someone who has been both celebrated and misunderstood. I am someone who sometimes wonders if people like me or just the version of me they see through their screens. And I think that's the scariest part. When social media is your livelihood, your creative outlet, and your coping mechanism, who are you when you log off? I think I built her, still glamorous, out of survival. She was everything I wanted to be when I didn't quite know who I was. Confident, unbothered, camera ready, a woman who could turn pain into art and chaos into content. She smiled when I couldn't. She spoke when my real voice shook. And somewhere along the way, she stopped being a persona and started feeling like home. Or maybe a mask, or maybe both. I can still remember the first time someone called me still glamorous in public instead of Kasey. It was flattering and strange, like being recognized and erased at the same time. They didn't see the person behind the screen. The one in sweats, unshowered, editing videos until 2 a.m., questioning everything. They saw the highlight reel, the aesthetic, the brand. And I started to wonder, had I made her or had she made me? There's this quiet ache that comes with building an alter ego. It's like creating a twin who lives the life you wish you had the courage to live. But she also demands to be fed, to be seen, and to perform. She thrives on attention, validation, metrics. And every time I unplugged, I felt her tugging at me, whispering, "Don't disappear. They'll forget you." That whisper was both my motivation and my undoing. Sometimes I scroll through my old content and catch myself trying to find me in it, the me that wasn't filtered through lighting, editing, or strategy, the me that wasn't on. But truthfully, I'm not sure I always liked that version of myself either. She felt too raw, too unsure, too real for the internet. So I let Still Glamorous speak for both of us. But lately I've been asking, what happens when the alter ego outgrows the person who created her? When the brand becomes the identity and the art starts controlling the artist? There's a strange loneliness in realizing you've spent years curating how people perceive you, and in the process, you've drifted further from how you perceive yourself. I've been adored, I've been dismissed, and I've learned that people project what they need to see. Some saw inspiration, some saw perfection, some saw someone to judge, and I tried to be it all at once. But here's what I'm learning. I was whole before social media. I was a daughter, a mother, a dreamer, an artist, long before a platform gave me a username. Social media didn't create me, it just magnified me. Sometimes too loudly, sometimes not accurately. I've learned that vulnerability is powerful, but it also comes with boundaries. I've learned that people will project their own pain onto you, but it's not yours to carry. I've learned that just because I make a living here doesn't mean I owe every corner of my soul to it. When I put the phone down, when I'm not posting, when I'm not performing, I rediscover the parts of myself that the algorithm can't touch. The mom who laughs with her kids without recording it. The woman who paints, writes, dreams in silence. The human who cries and heals without needing to explain why. Those moments are real. They're not trending. They're not monetized. They're mine. And maybe that's the real gift. Remembering that I get to exist outside of this screen. That I am not just what I share. I am not just what people say. I am not just an influencer. I am influenced too. By life, by love, by pain, by growth. So who am I without social media? I'm still figuring it out. Maybe Still Glamorous isn't something I have to kill off, but integrate. Maybe she's not a mask anymore. She's the mirror. The reflection of every phase I've survived, every reinvention I've had to make to keep moving forward. And maybe the next chapter isn't about choosing between who I am online and who I am off it, but learning how to let them coexist without apology, without performance, just whole.